worked out pretty good. But it's going actually along very well. And we'll see, but we'll have some information by the end of the day. We're talking to them. And, you know, we're taking a tough stand. They've killed a lot of people. A lot of our people have been killed. A lot of your fellow soldiers have been killed over the years by Iran. The roadside bomb. Soleimani, I killed Soleimani.
Thank you for that. He was making the explosive form penetrators. They're making them in Iran, bringing them to Iraq and blasting through the vehicles.
Well, he was the father of the roadside bomb, essentially, and he killed a lot of people. And when you see soldiers or others, but soldiers generally walking around with no legs, with no arms, a face that's been smashed, that was Soleimani, that was Iran that did that. So we have a much different view on it than other presidents. They've gotten away with murder for 47 years. They're not getting away with it anymore. Does anybody have any questions with the great professionals, please?
So I wanted to know, could this potentially ever be available through the VA? You know, because I was talking to Liz over here, you guys went down to Mexico together, but it's really expensive. And this is another drug that's expensive.
We have the right guy, Oz.
A
Let's
lot
go.
of veterans need this.
Boy, are you good for this question. They're talking about expense and availability.
So I spoke to Doug Collins. Obviously, both he obviously pays for the VA, and we pay for Medicare, Medicaid, children's health insurance. Are very focused on the results that the NIH and FDA are going to offer us. We have a mechanism of creating models, CMMI. That might be the wise way to go because we can continue to study the impact. It is just such a massive shift in how you deliver care. Imagine instead of taking a pill a day for your depression, you go through one treatment, but you have to have few people watching you. It's a very different world. So we're working that through. That's why the president, who I think this is the perfect step to get everything rolling, to deliver on the promise.
What's timing, would you say on that, before you know?
Yeah.
We could have a CMMI model that we would announce by the end of this year. But the reason I'm not committing to that now is I want to make sure that the FDA and NIH have time, along with the great scientists, to give us a bit more information about how to deliver care. I'll give you one concrete example. For things like, well, Ibogaine is a little different story, but you wouldn't want two people in the room during the treatment. That's true for many of these approaches. That's a very different way of delivering medicine. And so the models that Abe Sutton runs that group for us, and he's done a great job for the president, that will be probably the fastest way of moving forward and give the VA data so they can make wiser decisions, because Doug Collins is very focused on this.
There's one thing I'd add. There's nothing more expensive right now than the mental health crisis in America. 21% of Americans have a diagnosable mental health condition. The second leading cause of death for young adults today is suicide. Wow. Mr. President, antidepressants right now are the most prescribed class of medications in the country. Over 20% of women are on an antidepressant.
And is that good in terms of do they work?
There's highly problematic research on the fact that over 20% of U.S. women are on these drugs that are prescribed for life. We have a mental health crisis.
And do they work?
No. They don't. I'm on a couple of them. And
I would not have.
We'll get you down to Mexico. We'll get you down to Mexico.
I said, okay, can I be next? But no, it is definitely an issue for women.
But, Mr. President, what you and Secretary Kennedy unlocked is, for the first time, questioning this system, where we spend 3 times more per capita than any other country in the world, and we are living 6-7 years less. We have the highest rates of suicide and depression in the developed world. The incentives of our system.
And by the way, autism, which we're really working hard on, right, Bob?
We have the highest rates of
we're coming up with some pretty amazing findings.
And pediatric cancer is the highest rates in the world. We are struggling, and we're paying more than any other country, and the power of this executive order is really representative and gives validation to the cries of Maha moms and the votes of Maha moms, because for the first time it's taking a therapy that's one time. This is a one time, not a lifetime drug that can change someone's life, and that's the power. And I think that's why the system.
So the antidepressants, all that we read about it, we prescribe to our military, they're not very effective.
It's a lifetime drug, and
even if it's lifetime, but. Do they
look at what's happened as we prescribed them and made them one of the most prescribed classes.
The numbers are not great.
Perhaps I could jump in from the scientific side.
Thank you, Mr. President. What's the timeline for those?
She just wanted to say something.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think what's really important about your order is we really want to understand why these rapid-acting treatments work. We need that for every treatment in mental health illnesses. standard antidepressants in research, they do work for some people, but certainly not everyone. And if we think of cancer, all other conditions, we have a test to know which treatment
That's right.
is needed, and we don't have that for mental illness. It's guesswork.
This is tough.
So
With that, it either works or it doesn't work, and you have the
Right.
result.
And so-
With this, you don't.